Hey everybody, Miranda Pitrone back here with you to do another fun video. I have been asked to recreate one of my spiral patterns again with the dots in the center and the spiral outside swipes. So we're going to do one of these today, these fun designs with the blue. I'm just coming up with a color combo here that strikes me today, so I am thinking as I'm looking over my Pinterest page here, I have a board which you are all free to check out. I will put a link in the description. Whenever I find palettes that I like, I just tuck them onto here, and then it gives me something when I'm stuck to go back and just kind of check out and see if there's anything that stands out from the crowd for me. I'm going to be creating it on one of these fun Santorini stones from Capcouriers. They have a bunch of them that are about the 3-inch size. So I just grabbed this one today and used a compass to put a background circle on it, because I'm just going to paint my little background back to keep my mandala kind of sectioned off in that area. But I am going to gather my supplies. I'm going to be using my brushes today to show the swipes and the dots, and we will go from there. Alright, so I have my background here on my stone, and then we'll just find the center of our circle for our first dot. So this stone is about 3 inches across, just a little under, and then my circle is 2.5 inches. Alright, sorry, 2.5 inches, so about 1.25 inch will be our center. Okay, so now that it is mostly dry, I can actually put a little mark for our center, which we said was going to be at 1.25 inch in. So this is my etcher. I broke the end off of one of the dotting tools, and I don't like to erase pencil marks and stuff like that, so I try not to use a lot of pencil and stuff like that on my pieces, but this will just give me a little mark here to kind of scratch onto the paint to show me where I need my center. And the paint is just a little damp, so I'm not going to scratch too hard. I don't want to ruin it, but that'll start with our center. Alright, so we're going to start off with white for our center, and I'm just using the Deco Art Americana line, the Snow Titanium White. And this is just a soft round brush. Okay, so I'm using, it's about a size 3 brush, soft round brush, and I'm just going to make a large white dot here in the center with the titanium white. And then I'm going to grab my ankle spot detailer, which is a size 10, and we're going to steal from the center and make a plus sign here. And then on the 45-degree angle, you're going to throw a little white dot in between each of the whites that we already put down, just like that. Okay, the next color I have is cocoa, and with that we are going to go in between each of the white dots that we just put down with just a little bit larger of a dot. Okay, next I have this creamy milk chocolate here. It's just a shade darker too from the cocoa. And then above our white and in between the two cocos, we're gonna give it a little dab there of the milk chocolate. And it's a little bit larger. So if you're using dotting tools, you can create this design as well. So don't sway from it. Try it out. You just have to use your dotting tools in various sizes. So your smallest, and then this would be probably makes about a 2mm dot. So if you have the rainbow set of tools, it's usually the blue one. And then the next dot will be about a 3mm, so that would be the green. Once we do the next dark brown here. And this next one will be with the raw umber. So like I said a second ago, this is the green. So if you have the rainbow set like this, the green one is usually about 3mm on the stylus, so that's going to be the next size dot that we put down if you're using these tools. If you're using brushes, it's a little easier to accommodate, but if not, you can still do it. I know a lot of people use tons of different things to dot with, so just make the design your own with your own tools. You can do various sizes on canvas, on larger stones. You can downsize it to smaller, all just by changing the size of your dots. So your design obviously will change size with the dot sizes that you're using. Alright, so gotta throw in some sparkly, right? The rich espresso from the Dazzling Metallics is going to be next after the raw umber. Actually, I'll leave that down for you guys. And these Dazzling Metallics are so pretty. Just adds a little bit, but not too much to the piece. Another one is the Extreme Sheen. They make some really nice Extreme Sheen paints with the flakes in it that are so shiny. They're so pretty. They're a little bit tackier, stickier, I guess, to use. Oh, I'm talking too much. So it takes a little bit just to learn how to paint with them, but they're worth it. So if you have your 3mm dotting tool, you can just go a little bit bigger with it by just pushing it around into a circle, just like I'm doing with the paintbrush. That's all I'm doing. I'm not dotting with it really, I'm just painting circles. So I'm not sure, I think the acrylic rods have different sizes where you could probably get them larger dots like this. And then I know some people use drill bits and crochet hooks, all sorts of things, so I'm not sure what these translate into as far as those tools, but you can do this design too. It may be a little more difficult with the swipes if you're not using a stylus or a paintbrush. Some of the silicone tools, I know people have used those to do the swipes, so that might be helpful. Alright, now I'm going to grab some blues and we'll start dotting just halfway around these large rich espresso dots that we have down. Okay, so first we'll go back to the white and do just a half round of dots with the white around each of our rich espressos. And this is where you have the benefit with the dotting tools. You can just dip it once and then let the paint run off your tool and it will graduate the sizes. But if you're using a brush, you just have to be, you have to push down a little bit harder for a larger dot and then lighten up as you go around on the brush. And that will make smaller dots as you go around. So one thing I get asked a lot, usually I have pretty steady hands, but I'm on some medication for stuff I've been dealing with lately, so it's making me a little bit shakier. So you can actually just post yourself on your other hand to steady it a little. See, it's a little shaky as I'm pinching it, and then you can steady it on your other hand like that. And there's also things out there like wrist rests. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. But if you are having a problem with your hands not staying still for the dotting, you can always use a wrist rest as well to help steady that. I know there's some people who sell them on Etsy, and a lot of women and men have found them very helpful. Okay, so not to belabor the winter point, but winter blue is the first color I'm going to use. I don't know about you all, but I am ready for spring. This has not even been that much of a challenging winter. In fact, I only had to shovel once. But I'm ready. We're ready to be done. And we're starting the car to warm it up. And we're bundling up. Although I do like cozy sweaters. So I guess it depends too on where you live. I wasn't even thinking about that because I keep being reminded that people from all over the world are watching this video, which is so cool. And that's actually, if you guys want to give a shout out from where you're from, feel free to put it down in the comments. Or anything else you want to say, just say hi. Favorite colors. Favorite animal, favorite brush, whatever. Just say hi in the comments, and actually that helps keep the videos going now with the new algorithms. If you're not getting comments on your videos, YouTube stops showing them as much. So if you want to keep seeing the videos in the rounds, actually you can subscribe to mine, and then you'll just hit the bell on your near subscribe button, and that will actually alert you each time I put out a new video. But if you're not subscribing to videos and you want to see a lot out there, then commenting on them is another good way to interact, but also a good way to keep us all being seen on here. And that goes for any YouTuber, it's not just me. So if you have other people that you really like to see stuff from, keep commenting on their videos, because that's what they're relying on now. Alright, so that was winter blue. Next I have this turquoise blue, which I haven't really used in a while, but I really like this color. So if you're new to dotting, I just want to encourage you not to give up early. It takes a little bit of practice, especially with the brushes. And 9 times out of 10, if you're having a problem, it's really your paint consistency. So you want your paint to kind of be like yogurt. It doesn't quite fall off the tool, but it's thin enough you can mix it around and it flows a little bit. But that really is one of the main issues, is the paint consistency. So a lot of people have access to just premium acrylics, which are heavy bodied. You know, you can put them down and they almost look like plaster. They stay in place. They hold their shape. So those are heavier bodied. These are water-based acrylics, so they're a little thinner and better for dotting. But if you have the thicker ones, don't go out and buy all new paints. You can just grab a medium, a flow medium, depending on where you live. But there's things like Floetrol. It's just an additive that you put in your paint and gives it a little more fluidity. Fluidity? As I said that word, it didn't sound like a word, but I think it is a word. It's really hard to talk, think, and dot all at the same time. People don't realize. Takes a bit of practice. Took me years to chew gum and walk. I'm just kidding. Alright, so you can see the shape starting to develop here of our spiral, which will actually serve as a guideline after this round when we start the swipes. So it's very helpful. Okay. So I have this beautiful tropical blue, and this one was one of the new paint colors they had come out in 2019, so last year. And a lot of those colors that came out at Deco Art last year are just gorgeous, rich, highly pigmented. Somehow they changed it up, and they are just super dynamic. I love them. See, actually this one matches my nails, so it's kind of cool. Alright, so while that is drying, I just want to give a quick little tutorial here, I guess, a mini tutorial within the tutorial on how to do a swipe. So, if you are using the dotting tools, with the stylus, you can, I'm trying to find if I have straight ones, but alright, to start off, if you have my angled ones that I sell in my shop, They are like this. They're bent. They don't come that way from the manufacturer. I do that myself and put them out to help you guys out because they're just easier for dotting, in my opinion. But they're also good for swipes. So, just want to show you, this is the large one. So this, you can just drag that dot. You're going to dot, but then you just drag it out to do a quick swipe. You can curve them around things, which is what we're going to do. And if you don't have the tail quite as long, you can grab a little bit, or you can even switch to the smaller end of the tool and grab the paint and drag it even longer to do a longer one. If you are using the straight ones, so they are not angled, let's see if I have any around here. I found one in the middle of nowhere. Alright, so if you're using the straight ones, it's not bent, so you can still do it. Just dip it, get a ton on, start your dot, and then drag it out. So, I don't know if you can see here, but with the ones that are angled, they hold a little bit more paint on them because their angle holds a little bit more. So the dot is a little fatter, goes a little longer, the swipe rather. So there's a difference there. So it depends. So watch, if I use the really small end here, it's going to be a lot different swipe size. So now we're talking brushes, and I have the angle spot detailer that you can use, and you just dip it, and I kind of overload it, but with the swipes with brushes you kind of push down a little harder, and then when you get to where you want to start making a tail, you just let up. So push down and then let up. If you're gonna curve it around something, it's the same thing. You just push down and then you're letting up as you get to that tail point. So keep in mind that you can do this slowly. No one's rushing you. A lot of people call them swoops and swooshes and, I mean, whatever, swipes. And it looks like it would be fast, like a dash, you know, like you're typing or whatever. It's not. You can do it really slow, take your time, and that gives you a lot more accuracy with placement of where you want your little tail to go, everything. So just take your time and then enjoy it, because each one, I guess it's called a comma stroke in painting too. So if you're a painter, then you probably already know how to do the comma stroke because it looks like a comma or apostrophe. And that way it just gives you a little bit of an idea of all the little ones, like an eyebrow. I mean, you can make them look all different, but for our purposes, we're just gonna go around our little element here of the dots. So you kind of have a guideline for directionality on here. So just depends on the tool you're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go in a similar pattern to what we did for dots. So I started with white. So I'm going to start with white for my swipes. And I'm just going to start at the top of the last blue dot that we put down. And I'm just going to push down. Take your time, remember? And see, I can even let up and then go back to it. You can't really do that with the dotting tools. Once you pick it up, it's a little bit harder to put it back down and gauge where to put it. But with the paintbrush, you can apply pressure differently. So I'm just pushing down so it doesn't bleed into the blues. And this way too, you're kind of, when you start with the white, it gives a good contrast from the turquoise or the blue that we were on. Okay, so next up would be that winter blue again. And I'm gonna stack these on top of one. Girls gotta do laundry, sorry. Guess I'll be leaving that blooper in there. So I'm just stacking them on top of one another here, the swipes. So you're just about above. Okay, next is the turquoise blue. And then back to that tropical. You can see I've really overloaded my brush too. It really helps to do these longer swipes if you overload the tool that you're using, and then you don't have to dip it again. Alright, now, just because I'm just going to change up my design a little bit, because a lot of times I'll do this on a natural stone and not do a background, but I wanted to kind of do something a little different this time. So we're going to add in, I like to take the center colors and bring them out. So we'll go back to that Dazzling Metallic, the Rich Espresso. And we're going to follow along our last blue line, but just start here where the border is. And bring it down in like that. It just gives a little bit of a different spin on things. Plus, changing up the color gives your eye a different direction to look at, kind of. And then again, too, it's just helping to fill in your space here for your background. But I also like the depth of this design, how it's just multiple swipes everywhere. And at this point, so this Dazzling Metallic should just about be being dragged into the white, the first swipe. But just at the end, you just give it a little bit of a curve around. In case you hadn't guessed, I chose the sand and sea colors. Alright, so now we'll grab that cocoa again. No, I misspoke. I meant to go darker. Debating milk chocolate or raw umber. Should we go milk chocolate probably? I think the milk chocolate would be good. So milk chocolate will be the next one, following that Dazzling Metallic. And again, you're just going to pull it back a little farther on the design again. So that you're following the outline here. Okay, now the cocoa. And this last one might not be, like on mine, it's not a full length swipe. You're just doing like I showed in the center, kind of like the comma strokes, or an asterisk, not an asterisk, an apostrophe. Got a chunk in my paint there. That's gross. Alrighty. Alright, so you did it. You finished the Sand and Sea spiral. Great job. So I'm hoping y'all feel a little bit better and more confident about the swipes, because definitely this is the type of design where you're going to get that practice. And I have a lot of people ask me about it. So I hope you found that helpful. And all these items and paints and brushes and stuff that I use in the tutorials, including the awesome stones from Capcouriers, I put links to all of them in the description of this video. So if you're looking for those items and you want to purchase one, or if you just want to check them out, they will be in the links in the description. All right, I hope you guys had fun with this one. I sure did. I absolutely love this design and love painting these. So I really enjoy it, and I love to share them with others. So that being said, I'm going to leave you here, and I hope you all have an awesome day. Remember, click the bell if you want to get notifications, and I wish you all happy painting. Take care. Alright, now as requested from you all, most of you, the bloopers are at the end of each video, so stay tuned. Wrong screen. Hey, what's up? If you are on Pinterest, I have this fun color palette collection here that I think has been helpful for a lot of people, so just putting it out there for y'all. It is on my Pinterest page. You can just follow it, and all the new palettes that you are looking for are ones I'm putting on. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm looking at all these pretty colors and I'm totally getting distracted. Blah. No, I'm just gonna give up. So I have these Pinterest palettes. Pinterest palettes! Oh, this is the wrong one. Wrong one! So on here are my Pinterest. Nope, these are not my Pinterest palettes. This is my shop. YouTube. Oh, there we are. Finally. 5 clicks later. Alright, 3. I can't count. Alright, so... Oh, music is playing. Why is music playing? Some say, don't give up. Why is music playing?